Hey team, Kat here. How you doing? I hope you're doing really, really well. Tonight I'm sharing how to create more authentic connection in your sales conversation and sign more clients. This is for you if you want to sell more through becoming really skillful at the art and science of human connection with another human being so that you can grow your business and really enjoy the process and really enjoy the connection that you have with another human being. So I don't know if you relate to any of these things, but I know a lot of people tell me that they don't like sales because they just feel uncomfortable. They feel like they don't want to come across as pushy. Maybe you secretly have that little feeling of relief when people cancel on sales conversations, like phew. Or sometimes we can get so caught up in marketing because marketing can be fun, content creation and teaching can be more enjoyable than actually selling. So this is for you if you understand that sales is really, really important to get clients, but you're kind of just wanting people to sign up without you having to sell. And you tend to avoid sales conversations sometimes because maybe it triggers a fear. It can trigger a fear of rejection. It can trigger a feeling of like a perception of being like a pushy salesperson. You don't want to be that kind of person. You don't want to have that disappointment if someone says no. And you know that you need to develop more effective selling skills in order to be a great coach and to have more clients and to achieve that freedom and that impact and that income that you really want. Often we avoid selling because we're actually not good at it. So when you develop the skill, and it's a skill that anyone can learn, any of us, all of us are born without the skill. All of us have to learn how to successfully sell effectively if we want to be great coaches and service providers. And you can do it in a way that's graceful and elegant and actually enjoyable for both of you. I don't know if you can recall a time where you've been in a sales conversation on the other end where you've been buying something and it's just been a really awkward, uncomfortable feeling. So I want to help you to actually look forward to your sales calls and even find them fun. Because as coaches, as service providers, essentially we're selling something invisible. And so there are certain elements that need to be in place for us to sell an invisible service compared to if you were selling a product. So if you're here live, thank you for being here live. Just pop a hashtag live in the comments so I know that you're here live. I really appreciate you showing up live. And if you're watching the replay, if you could just pop a hashtag replay in, that's always really helpful. Please also interact in the comments because it does help me to find out what you're getting the most value out of, and it does help me to get this out to more people as well. So thank you for this interaction. I want to give you 5 mistakes that people make when it comes to sales conversations. So if you are taking notes, write these down. 5 mistakes. The first mistake is, number 1, not being confident in your ability to get a transformation for that person. So when you come across as not confident, people have no confidence in you. And if you deep down are feeling like, I'm not sure if I can get a transformation for that person, people are going to pick up on that. So if you're not confident that you can get a transformation for that person, then you need to maybe question whether you are actually in integrity to sell to that person. So I'll only make an offer to someone who I feel that I will absolutely get a result for. Otherwise, I don't want their money. I don't want to work with them. So that's what selling is. It's a conversation to see if you're a match and to make sure that you can get a transformation for that person and you're not just saying yes because you're desperate and want to pay your bills. So it's the first mistake. The second mistake is not being confident in your offer. If your offer hasn't been crafted to make sure it's irresistible and it's a real no-brainer, that lack of confidence in your offer is going to show up when you're talking. And when you present your offer, if you are lacking confidence in your offer, then the person that you're speaking to will pick up on that energy and they will also probably not feel confident in your offer. The third mistake is not being confident in your price point. And if you say your price and you don't feel like this is such great value for that person, if you say your price and you waver and you feel like, oh, I'm not sure about this, like, please say yes. And people pick that up, then they're going to not have confidence that you're going to deliver a result for that price point, because people say yes because they trust that it's going to be an exchange, that they're going to get a return on their investment of their time and their money. And so we need to make sure that there's a price point that you feel confident with. And that's a whole nother subject, but there are a lot of gurus telling people to put their prices up all the time. And that's not always the best advice for everyone. Some people want to charge those big bucks before they've really earned the right by putting in the work and the effort to learn those skills. You've got to earn those skills. You can't just charge high ticket unless you're really good and confident that you're going to be able to deliver a transformation. The fourth mistake is being too scripted. And I've done quite a lot of sales training. I've done a lot of sales training over many, many years. My first sales course was in 2004. I was a personal trainer, and it was a $2,000 2-day sales course where they trained us with a script. And it was basically how to get people to sign up for our personal training services. And I remember the script was quite awkward and uncomfortable for me. A lot of the words were, I would just fall over when I was practicing. It was 2 days, and then we were unleashed on the gym floor to try out the script on people. And I remember just feeling like I was so awkward. That was 19 years ago. What I've discovered over many, many years of using scripts and adapting them and making them my own is that I show up really relaxed on my sales calls now, but I always have a script. I always have a structure open. When I did a selling program years ago, I remember the people that I was practicing with felt so scripted, and it just felt really awkward. Like, imagine if you went into a shop and you wanted to buy a beautiful jacket. So for example, I went into Forever New recently and I bought this jacket, and I remember just chatting to the salesperson, and I wanted her to sell me the jacket because I really liked it. And so I was saying, what do you think about the material? Like, what do you think? I just wanted that process with her. And if she went into this like really full-on script, I think it would be really weird. But she just kind of like went through a few things that gave me that reassurance and that peace of mind. I also, I bought this from Portman's. I also went into Forever New, and there was a really nice jumper that I wanted, but I kind of needed a bit more convincing. And I remember saying, do you think it's going to pill? What's it made of? And she just kept looking at her nails or standing there. And I really wanted her to engage in the process and help me over the line. Like, I actually wanted her to sell me this jumper. But she just didn't care. She was not engaged. She wasn't present. And I would have bought probably a lot more from that shop if I felt like she actually cared. Like, oh, what are you looking for? Oh, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? I wanted to spend money. I actually went into that shop going, I want to spend money today. And she was just really not great at her job. And so the fourth mistake is being too scripted, but the fifth mistake is having no script at all. I was talking to one of my clients recently who upgraded a client. She gave her client a tan. She's a beauty. She does beauty treatments on people. She gave a client a tan, and she said because she had in her mind that about sales, she was like, oh, hey, do you want a tan extender while you're on holiday? And it wasn't like this full-on scripted thing, but it was also a structure. Hey, every time someone buys this, what if I just say, hey, have you thought about that? Because people often want to buy things. There is a real joy in buying. So we don't want to be so scripted that it's like robotic, but we also want to make sure that we have a structure, because when we have a structure, we are leading the conversation. So I want to give you three hot tips to write down. Oh, welcome. Great to see you guys here. Hey, Lynette. Hey, Trish. Good to see you. So number one, if you're writing this down, hold the space for someone to move through the discomfort of change. Hold the space so someone moves through that discomfort of change. Because if you think about it, a sale is someone moving through a change, exchanging money for something. That's what selling is. Selling is an exchange. So people are thinking about whether to give up some money in the hope that they're going to get a return on their investment for their problem to be solved, whether that's buying a Subway sandwich because their problem is they're hungry, or buying a jacket because they want something new, or buying a car, or buying some furniture. Like whatever it is that we're buying, we're constantly thinking, I need to put aside some money. Am I going to get my money's worth? Let's take an example of a holiday package to a new destination. Like I remember when I was booking a tour when I went to Europe, and I knew nothing about all the countries that I wanted to visit. I just knew that I wanted to visit a whole heap of countries and I wanted to go on a tour. So I didn't know anything. So I went into my local travel agent. I was in New Zealand at the time. And I said, I want to do a tour. I have no idea where to start. I don't even know what questions to ask. Can you guide me? And the travel agent was so good. She sat with me for ages, because this is like potentially 2 weeks where it could be a nightmare. It could be really hard. I could have hated it, right? So when you buy a tool like that, it's something you buy in the hope that it's going to be an awesome experience, but you're buying something invisible, and there's a potential for it to be amazing and life-changing and awesome, which it was. I went with a company called Top Deck, and it was kind of, she said, like there's like Contiki, which is really young, and then there's this one for these older people, and the Top Deck was like the middle one, where it wasn't camping and it wasn't like full-on hotels. It was kind of that middle. And but basically I was buying something that is invisible, so it also has that risk of not being great. So think about your buying behavior and the amount of time and care that you want from a salesperson. Like this travel agent, she really took the time. And if we're meeting people and holding the space for them through that discomfort of potentially changing, it's also very exciting. But meeting people with that acceptance of where they're at, that warmth, that compassion, actually really listening and actually really being present and being on their side, and helping them to feel so safe that they can actually share their problems, because not many people actually like sharing what they're struggling with. There's so much depth that people come in with, and sometimes it can take time for people to unravel some of that and be vulnerable enough and feel safe enough. So we need to allow someone to be vulnerable and share what's really going on and hold that space for them. It's really important to remember that we only buy when we trust a person. If we don't trust them, we're not going to buy, unless it's like a product. But when you're buying a coaching package, if you don't trust that coach, you're not going to buy. We only buy when we feel met, when we feel understood, when we have confidence that that person is going to deliver what they say that they can, and when we feel confident that that person is actually genuine and it's not just words. I got a message from a lady today, and she said, oh, I noticed that you'd given this lady a testimonial on her website. Can you just check in? Can you confirm that she's genuine, that she is going to deliver what she said? And I said, absolutely. I wouldn't ever give a testimonial unless that was true. So people want to know, people want to have that confidence. And that doesn't mean that we have to be this showy salesperson that talks ourselves up higher than we are. It's actually better to just be absolutely real, absolutely authentic and genuine. And if you feel that you can absolutely help them with what they're there for, tell them. But we don't want to be hypey, right? We want to be authentic. So a lot of people say that I exceed their expectations. Like, oh, I didn't know that you were going to do all this other stuff for me. Because I think when I'm in a sales conversation, I'm not coming across with a convincing, pushy energy. I've done sales for so long that the structure is so embedded in me that I can be really present. I'm really listening to what that person's saying. I'm not thinking about, oh, what am I going to say next? Oh, how can I convince them? How can I twist their arm? Like, it's not that. I'm trying to see if it's going to be a fit. I'm trying to make sure that I can really help them. And I want people to recognize that value and decide for themselves if there's an alignment. I want them to convince themselves that they are willing to invest in this, rather than me doing a big pushy pitch. So I hope that helps. I read this interesting article that popped up in my phone this morning. It said something like 3 things to buy to be happier according to science. And this lady, I think her name was Holly Burns, she'd written this article and she said the 3 things to buy to be happier were about experiences. And so this psychologist had done a study and not one of the 3 things was material. They were actually experiences that contributed to our identity. And so that's what you do as a coach, as an expert, as a service provider. You're essentially selling something that is going to give someone lasting fulfillment, transformation, impact, rather than just buying something that is material. So we need to remember that when we're selling, that what you're selling can potentially totally transform their life, which is pretty cool. Hey, Kim, great to see you. So number 2, be detached from the outcome. Be detached from the outcome. So we're not trying to make sure that you get the sale, whether they say yes or no, just be detached and be dedicated to the person. Be detached from the outcome and dedicated to the person. The end goal of sales is to help someone make a decision, to have a clear yes or no that they're happy with, and not to be pushy about it. You know, if someone says to me, I really need to just decide if this is the right fit for me, I don't say, oh, you know, tell me why do you need to think about it? You know, it's like, yeah, cool, I get that. Is there anything else I can do to help you make that decision? So there's a reason why they're in a conversation with you. And so it's about thinking, what's a decision that will help them move forward instead of being stuck and going around in circles like they have been. And it's actually about coaching them through it. I think of sales like coaching. The sales conversation, if you do it right, it's like the first coaching conversations that they have. And it's not making it mean something if they say no. So if someone says yes or no, that's cool. But I want to know that I've dedicated myself to helping that person make a decision that they're happy with and making sure that that's the right decision for them. So some of the questions that I ask people to help them open up and help them make the right decision, I'll say something like, you know, what's it really costing you to not have this problem solved? So they really get a feeling of like, what's it costing me, or what could it cost me in the future if I don't get this problem solved? Because they've been stuck, they've been annoyed and frustrated and struggling and suffering for this time. And if we can actually help them, what's going to happen if I don't solve it? I say, why is it important for you to solve this problem? So that they can really tap into their reasons. I say, why are you committed to making this happen now? So this is basically saying, I know you're committed to making it happen because you're here on the sales conversation. Why? And a question that I love to ask is, where do you need the most help? Where do you need the most help? Just let them tell you. Number 3, follow a structure to allow you to be more present. Follow a structure to allow you to be more present. In sales, we have to lead the conversation with confidence. People want to be led. The person you're having a sales conversation with, they want you to lead the conversation. They're on the call with you for a reason. And a lot of people will just kind of let the person lead. And all of a sudden their 45 minutes is over, or however long it is. And you kind of haven't helped them get to a decision or get to a solution, or it's just kind of been a bit rambly and the person goes on tangents, which is totally normal, but the structure brings them back to you knowing where you're taking them, and that person feeling confident that you're actually taking them somewhere. So when you know exactly what to say, it gives you a feeling of presence, of relaxation, of enjoyment, because you know that you're following a structure and you can go on tangents, you can be creative within that structure. It's not a script word for word, like, how are you today? Where are you having the most problems? It's a list of questions like a toolkit of questions. This is what I work with my clients. We have a whole toolkit of questions for each stage of the structure that I recommend. So we're taking people on a journey from where they are to where they want to be, to what's in the way, to helping them make a decision. And so you can keep just coming back to that structure. Having a structure allows you to keep bringing the conversation back. And this is what it means to lead a conversation with confidence. You know, we don't want to ask questions that are going to kind of jolt people away from their train of thought. So people want that reassurance. People want to feel that you're confident, that you're leading them. And when you know what to say, because most people don't sell very well because they don't kind of know what to say. When you know what to say, you have the capacity to really think, really listen, really meet with someone where they're at, and you don't have to worry about that. You know that the conversation has a purpose, and that's to help someone make a decision. If you're just constantly worrying about what to say next, then you're not really present and you don't know how to lead people. Having that structure allows you to really listen, to ask better questions, and to sign up more clients. So if you'd like to know the exact structure that I share with my clients and the step-by-step formula that I take people through with everything that you need to authentically sign up clients so that they enjoy it, so that you enjoy it, it's called the Authentic Enrollment Formula. It has all the elements that you need. And I've developed this over the last 19 years of selling so that you can make more sales through that authentic human connection. I shared a few questions tonight in this video, but what I'm doing at my upcoming retreat, VIP virtual retreat, is I'm taking people through the whole process, and I'm sharing all of the questions and the whole structure, and we're going to be going through it. So this is one piece of what I'm sharing at the 2-day retreat. It's coming up on the 23rd and 24th of June. And I have a few free guest passes. So if you want to come as a free guest, drop the word VIP into the comments right now. If you want to be one of those people that gets a free guest pass, where I'm taking you through that formula, sharing with you all the structures and questions that I use. And we're going to build out the process together and personalize it to make it work for you. I'm also sharing a video marketing mastery session to help you create engaging videos. I'm sharing how to create an elegant invitation to sign up more clients using your social media and your email. There's going to be lots of productive action sessions, guest speakers, Q&A, hot seats. It's jam-packed. Mentoring, prizes. It's 2 days of awesomeness of working on your business. So if you want to be one of those people that gets a pass, just drop a VIP in the comments right now. I'll reach out to you and let you know the details. So thank you for being here. I hope that's been really helpful. Just remember that sales is about matchmaking. Sales is about helping someone get a result. And sales is about healing and transforming and coaching someone through that decision. So just a quick recap. Number one, hold the space for someone to move through the discomfort of change. Number two, be detached from the outcome and dedicated to that person. And number three is follow a structure to allow you to be more present. Hope that's been really helpful. I'd love to hear in the comments right now, what did you get out of that? What's one thing that you got out of that? What's one nugget that you really enjoyed? Please pop it in the comments. I really appreciate it. That's the one thing that I would ask if you enjoyed this. Thank you for being here. Keep shining, keep showing up, keep sharing. The world needs your words. They matter. Take care, my friends. See you soon. Bye.